like a kid on Christmas. Let's see what we got here. Look at this, boys. Holy cow. Let's get this out here in the sunlight. Look at that. Wow. Dang, even carbon intake runners. Look at that. Look at those pie cuts. That's a true work of art. I'm probably the most excited about this out of anything. I've always wanted a twin turbo Huracan really, but I can't fit, so R8's next best thing.
You barely fit in the R8.
I barely fit in the R8, barely fit in the 600, so hey, it is what it is. Okay guys, tuning in this week for our weekly episode here. Yet again, another one of my personal cars, right? It's like we only work on my stuff. I had the car for a little while, had the turbo kit for 12, 16 weeks now. Haven't had time to start on it. Haven't had the room to start on it really, more so than anything. As you can see, new shop, well, the old part of the new shop. We're finally in Matt and Marty's shop. Got my main man Matt here. He's starting on it, ripping this thing apart, dissecting it real good for us. So we're doing a Boost Logic twin turbo kit, GTX 3582 turbos, if I'm not mistaken. First, foremost, we got to get everything ripped out. We're going to go ahead and pull the trans out, send it out to get built. We're doing kind of like a drag trans on this thing. I do plan to drag race it some. We're going to do some DSS axle shafts, AMS fuel system, Motec engine management control system, tuned by the best, Rob Harper. So yeah, follow along. Let's dive into this thing. As you can see, Matt got started first thing this morning, already making some good progress. So super, super excited. This has been a kind of a goal of mine for a long time to have a twin turbo Lamborghini or R8. For those of you who don't know, the R8 is basically the same platform as the Lamborghini Huracan. V10, all-wheel drive, and fixing to be twin turbo on Motec. So should be pretty nasty. Hoping to make somewhere around 15 to 1700 wheel horse with this car. So super, super excited. But yeah, thanks for tuning in this week. Check this thing out, see what we got going.
We got to remove the trans and send it off. We're going to have them go through it, upgrade the inside, all the components, clutches and stuff to hold the power. Looking at the puzzle. Pulling the fuel pump out of the tank so we can add the second pump if I can get it out. Factory fuel pump sending unit. That's what's going in it.
He said do a after fill, run it through the gears, and do a basic settings. What the hell's that mean? Basic settings. Bro, I can barely turn a computer on. You really expect me to? Yeah, but I can't. So I'm connected to the car. I've got advanced ID, fault codes, advanced measuring values, live data HUD, and cloud functions. All it'll let you select is options. Port and protocol options, and then user interface and identification. Mine just says, when you click test, it just says okay, or it pulls up and says everything's okay, but it won't let me apply it. Like applies, oh, here we go. Now it just worked. Gray. Aha, there we go. Got it. 140 degrees, door shut, e-brake on, foot on the brake. Keep the foot brake on at all times. All right, I'll let it get up to temperature and I'll shout back. All right, we got the car running, as you can see. Matt's been busting tail on this thing. We hadn't had a whole lot of time to work on it in the last couple of weeks. Been super busy. Appreciate everybody for that. But just got it fired up. Had one fuel leak out of everything that we did. Only one leak, and it was very, very minimal. So got that taken care of. Letting the car run. Trying to, as you can see, it's kind of moving a little bit. Running in gear. Get the transmission built up to 140 degrees. I'm going to try to do a TCM relearn. Go through all the gears, make sure everything's good there. If there was a problem with the transmission, obviously it'd be a lot easier to pull it out now before we get everything buttoned up. So check that out. Just a few little things we needed to check before we got everything back together, basically. So working on that now. Hopefully it takes a relearn good, no problems there, everything's good to go, and then it'll go pretty quick from here. Basically bolting the turbos on, running the lines, all that good stuff. So stay tuned. We're getting real close on this thing, hoping to have it done for the open house. Leave the bumper and stuff off of it so all you guys coming out to the open house can see it, see how crazy this stuff is. So stay tuned. We appreciate you tuning in. He said it takes forever. He said if you're not like driving it, you know, so to have some resistance on it, some friction, it takes forever. Guys, so we're back here with the R8. Apologize in advance. This video's kind of been all over the place. We've been working on this thing as kind of a filler over the last 6 or 8 weeks. Obviously, working on my stuff doesn't pay the bills, so we get to work on it when we can and we have some downtime. So we're finally wrapping this thing up. We've got the base map loaded into it now. Rob, our tuner, been sick here the last couple of weeks, so been kind of hanging around waiting on him a little bit. He's in Dubai now, working on some race cars over there. So finally got a base map loaded in at least. We're fixing to take this thing on a first test drive, maiden test drive here. Make sure everything's good, it goes through the gears good, all that stuff. No fun turbo noises yet, or no power, no boost yet, but run you through the build real quick, kind of what we did on this thing. As far as aesthetics, this thing's lowered on KW sleeves. We got some wheels from AG, Avant-Garde. Built us some sick 3-piece wheels here, carbon lip, wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport, Super Sport tires. I did that just a few months ago. We're just now wrapping up the turbo kit. We got a Boost Logic turbo kit, powder coated in an Illusion Violet. Our guys over at Southern Powder Coating had to match a few things. Boost Logic powdered it in-house, then sent it to us. But for engine management, we've got Motec M150, tuned by the best, Rob Harper, with Rob tuned. Get Nick in there, David, there's Nick. Sent the trans off while we had it apart. I wanted to go ahead and do it. These things you can slap a turbo kit on them and make 1,500 horsepower pretty reliably on these things, but wanted to go ahead and do it while I was apart. I didn't want to do it on my GTR and build it 4 or 5 times, have the trans out of it 4 or 5 times. So while we had everything apart, the whole back half off the car, went ahead and dropped the trans, sent it to ShepTrans up in Ohio. He built my GTR trans, great dude. Appreciate Shep for all he's done for me. But yeah, drag, I think they call it like a stage 400 or stage 4 drag trans. Basically got like a Pro Max clutch or a 9-plate clutch, second gear, some billet goodies, wave track, little odds and ends, just enough to kind of get us by. We'll probably do a little bit of drag racing with this thing, nothing crazy. I built this one to have fun and enjoy on the street. But yeah, let's fire this thing up, take it for a cruise, see how it does on its first drive here. See if we can find, I don't know, they have 93 here? Yeah. Well, first drive went successful. We made it to the gas station. 20 feet. We're going to ethanol. I don't know, eventually maybe put on X98. I'm not sure what they really are running on these things. Just throwing some pump gas in it now, so we're not pushing. We had it, like the fuel system basically completely drained. I don't know if I even mentioned that, but AMS fuel system, boost logic, billet, intake manifolds, all that good stuff. So it's got a decent bit of stuff. Planning to make, I don't know, 1700 wheel, something like that. And can really turn it up, push it even further than that if we want to in the future, but I want to turn it up or just get it running and enjoyable for a while first. I don't want it to be like the GTR, too much power and not even use it or enjoyable on the street. So super excited for this one. So, probably gonna have all kinds of bells and whistles dinging at me. It's got so many sensors that are unplugged and not even on the car right now. Man, nothing gets you fired up like some Shania Twain riding around in a twin turbo R8.
Yeah, with your knees crammed.
With my knees crammed in the dash. I've got some seats that will, and some brackets that will hopefully fix some of that. We'll see. The clutches are definitely different. I can tell already.
A little hotter to drive?
Yeah, they just are a little bit more aggressive, just like how they release, I guess. Sounds pretty cool. Just in first gear, yeah. That was just barely even, I mean, that was still in vacuum even. That's the whole reason I built this thing, just to look good and sound good. Obviously I wanted to run good too, but I have a race car. I don't want to build this one to be a race car too. We'll see though. It'll have bead locks on. It'll have bead locks. Yeah. Yeah, shit, I said it on camera, right? I'll have bead locks and I'll roll cage and everything. I'll be drag racing it before long. Oh my goodness. Whoa. This is the baby clutch compared to some of them. I'd say it'll be really aggressive. Maiden voyage success, I'd say. We really didn't have many issues, honestly, knock on wood. During the whole process, we had one fuel pump wire that got crossed up that it's like there's a dark brown and a light brown basically, and it's hard to tell which one it is. And that got crossed up a little bit, and then we had one vacuum leak. We did all push lock fittings on this thing, and one of the little vacuum fittings was bad. It was just a defective fitting, so had a little bit of a vacuum leak. But other than that, no issues for our first one. Hey, not bad. Matt worked really hard on this thing. It was a lot of work. This thing was in multiple pieces. I didn't know if it was ever going to run again. No, he did a great job on it. I'm ready to rip on it. I don't want to drive it slow. That's no fun. Rob's already been on my ass. I got to go get a new laptop. He said mine cut off like 6 times when he was trying to do the just do like the base map basically. My laptop's from like 06, so he was like, you got to go get a new laptop or I'm not remoting in again. I figured it'd be a lot more aggressive. Other than like takeoff, when it's first taking off, it's not bad at all. It drives like factory. And honestly, this is just a base map. I don't know if there's much more drivability stuff that he'll mess with. I'm sure this is all pretty close, but drives good to be a potential 1,500 horsepower car. All right, we made it back to the shop. First maiden voyage there went well, so everything's good. Getting ready to tune this thing. Hopefully Rob will have some time in the next day or so. Got to go buy a new laptop tonight because he hated on my 06 laptop. So tune back in for the other video. Actually be a cool video, maybe get this thing shooting some flames and doing some cool stuff with it. So once we get it tuned and start making some power. So appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.